Hello and welcome back to the Hype Bulletin, hosted by yours truly, Ralph Mentzer. Now, if you guys are listening and watching on the YouTube side, please press subscribe, like, and comment to help support the podcast and all. And again, if you guys are listening on the podcast platform side, Apple, Spotify, or Overcast, please leave us a rating, add us to your library for any past, present, and future episodes and all too as well. As you can see, the Red Sox have clinched themselves into the postseason as of Friday night. I'm recording on September 30th or September 29th. Monday of 2025 and all too as well. But on Friday, walk off in the Fenway Greens, of course. The catalyst of it all is Ceddanne Raffaello once again, at least, and all with a a walk-off triple off the wall at center field and all too as well to win the game and all too as well. But like I said, as you can see, the Red Sox have clinched. They clinched the second wild card spot of the playoffs and all, going into the wild card round against them blooded Yankees and all too as well. But you're going to, as you can see, as for the players on the Red Sox side with this picture that's on to the right, at least and all too as well, Garrett Crochet will be going game 1 against Max Fried and all. I'm unaware of what the Yankees got for game 2 or game 3 and all too as well. But we got Brian Bayo in game 2 for the Red Sox, and if necessary, Lucas Giolito for game 3. And all. I have no idea how to court myself to set myself up for a postseason run and all. I was more prepared for Celtics playoff runs on this podcast and the Red Sox making the playoff run, first time in 4 seasons that they have made the playoffs and all. 2021, they made a run that I was unaware of, at least throughout the season. And all, obviously, I was aware when they made the playoffs, but their run to the postseason was something that I was not expecting. And all, this season, a little bit more expectation and all, but wasn't prepared to think I'll be on a podcast talking about the Red Sox in the playoffs, at least. But enough about me, more about the Red Sox and all too as well. But before we dig in until more of the matchups against the Yankees, at least, which will be at Yankee Stadium starting Tuesday, and for the whole series, at least. On too as well. But let's go over, was it Friday? This looks like Thursday. Oh yeah, we'll go over the games that since the last time I recorded, at least. I think I recorded after the Rays series where they took 2 out of 3 and were still able to hold a 2 seed and all too as well. They had a great series against the Toronto Blue Jays and all too. I think Garrett Crochet pitched game 1. Lucas Giolito pitched game 1, was unable to get to 5 innings at least. Now, some weren't impressed by his start, at least, but a guy who didn't have much of his stuff going, at least, and all, I appreciate the start from him, at least, and all, too. So I'm trying to remember the big hit. These games be going by so fast and all, too, as well. So apologize. I'm trying to figure out on hand on how they won that game and all, too. So I can't remember off the top of my head how they won that game and all. But an impressive start by decent start by Lucas Giolito, at least, and all. But the offense stepped up in that game, too, as well. I'm really trying to remember. That was a big home run, wasn't it? Let me see someone's RBIs. Nathaniel had a sac fly. Yeah, Narvaez had himself a big double to bring in 2 in the 8th inning and all, too, as well. Right? Okay, maybe it was the 6th inning. I'll take it there. But I know Narvaez had a big hit towards right center field, now that brought in 2 runs. I'm seeing he had 2 RBIs, so I'm pretty sure that was the game that he had the big hit, at least. And I know Nathaniel had himself a sac fly too as well, or a RBI single. And I'm not sure if he had the sac fly. May have had a sac fly against the Tigers on Friday, at least, not too as well. But I do remember Narvaez hitting a big double towards right center field, at least. And also, that was probably the big offensive hit in that game and all too as well. I keep trying to say impressive and all because Garrett Crochet was impressive in game 2, at least. Went 8 innings, 3 hits, and only had 6 strikeouts, which I said prior that I was a little worried about him, and then I got hipped about a guy that's really probably chasing strikeouts, is the reason why Garrett Crochet has been giving up a whole bunch of home runs lately and all too as well. In this game against the Blue Jays, you can see he was not chasing any type of strikeouts. The contact that the Blue Jays would get against them, at least, were just lazy fly balls, lazy, ground balls, at least, too. So I love the way he looked, especially going into the postseason, where the home runs were an issue and all. I really thought it was more of a fatigue thing, but based on better analysis from other people, at least, too, as well. Instead of chasing strikeouts and going deep into counts and, when he's trying to get strikeouts at least, there's a lot of chances of him throwing his 94 seam fastball, and even though it's fast, I believe he throws at like 94 to 96 at least and all. You do tend to, in my opinion at least, you do tend to lose location off those pitches at least. I feel like those are the pitches that he's been tagged with more than anything, more than a sweeper or a sinker or any of his other pitches. I feel like it's the fastball he's been getting burned on. He's trying to, and I bet I don't have any type of stats or anything that I've looked in the past at least, but I'm pretty sure these home runs, the ones that I can remember at least, the home runs that he's given up are on 2 strikes too as well. Honestly, they're not early in the at bats; they're more deeper into the at bats at least and all. So it's just more pitch selection. I feel like he's been missing. I thought there was more fatigue and all, but maybe just looking too much for a strikeout at least. Maybe the reason why he was giving up those home runs more. I feel like he's been giving up home runs all season, but it's more frequent over the past month, past month and a half or so and all too as well. But just a great start against the Blue Jays, a team that's even though Blue Jays ended up clinching the AL East at least on Sunday, last day of the season at least all too as well. It was great to see how lazy contact it was for the Blue Jays at least on too as well. I'm not trying to say lazy like they weren't putting in effort at least. Vlad Guerrero, I think in that same game ended up getting ejected and all. If it wasn't that game, maybe the game before, at least on Tuesday. So the Toronto Blue Jays were taking themselves seriously, and even with Bo Bichette out, still a pretty good offense. They showed that in Game 3, I think against us. I think they scored more than 7 runs. They scored 6 runs and all, and they put up some runs against the Rays in their final series too as well. Honestly, so I think quite an impressive start for Garrett Crochet at least and all. Really, going into this Game 1 against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium, you already had confidence in Garrett Crochet. Man I think he has 18 wins this year and all too as well, under a 3 ERA, over 200 innings, over 200 strikeouts and all too as well. So you have confidence in him, but my confidence raised up a little bit for a person that I thought was looking a bit fatigued at least and all. Maybe his approach was just wrong. Definitely updated approach against the Blue Jays, and as Red Sox fans and fans of Garrett Crochet got to see the results of that too as well. Honestly, like I said, the Blue Jays ended up scoring 6 runs in Game 3. Brian Bayo pitched. Wasn't a bad, again, not a bad start. I feel like Giolito, to the fatigue point about pitcher, for the Red Sox starting pitchers at least and all, I feel like Bayo and Giolito are experiencing fatigue at least and all. I feel like more fatigue of the grind of the season and all too as well, more than just arm tightness or arm fatigue or a dead arm or something like that. I just think it's more of the grind of the season and all. I think it kind of got to Crochet too. I just think his approach was wrong, chasing strikeouts instead of just chasing for outs at least and all too as well, than just chasing strikeouts at least and all too as well. But did I freeze? All right, I just want to make sure I didn't freeze. But with Giolito and Bayo, I think the grind of the season has gone to them. I'm going to have a point about them going into the postseason all too as well, about that grind and see how they can improve at least all too as well. But I just wanted to go over these past week's games that led up to the clinching in Friday and all, and that's what we're getting to now on Friday. We had Kyle Harrison pitch for the Red Sox and all. Again, wasn't able to go through 5 innings, but shows you enough there. Was it Kyle Harrison? Yeah, Kyle Harrison went on Friday at least and all too. So yeah, I think he went 4 innings. Let me double check. I think he went 4 innings. Looking it up. Okay, went 3 innings. Went to the 4th inning, wasn't able to get out of it and all too as well. But I feel like he was still pretty solid and all too as well in those first 3 innings at least and all too as well. Looks like that could be his max at least because he had good 3 innings against the Athletics in his first appearance and all. Faced the Rays. I think he could have pitched 5 innings, gone to the 6th inning at least and all too as well. But it looks like that. I kind of had a thing about, are they using only Kyle Harrison in minor league parks and all? Because his first appearance was against the Athletics, and we all know they're playing in Sacramento at least and all. At least baseball fans know they're playing in Sacramento for the next season or two. And the Tampa Bay Rays are playing at George Steinbrenner Field. You know what I mean? The Yankees minor league field at least, and for the time being, the Rays field until Tropicana is back up. I heard it's going to be back up next season and all. I'm not sure if people are aware. There was a hurricane. I can't remember the hurricane that ruined that stadium for them and all too as well. But that's why Tampa Bay is playing in the minor league stadium. But I thought the Red Sox were avoiding Kyle Harrison playing at a major league park at least and all too as well. He didn't look too bad at Fenway at least and all. I mean, the way Walker Buehler's looking with the Phillies, maybe there is something to do with pitching at Fenway at least and all too as well. But again, though, he looked good. I mean, I should say he looked great. I mean, he looked good in that start. Just wasn't able to go 5 innings at least and all too as well. But you can honestly give a shout out to the bullpen. A big shout out to the bullpen in this one too as well. You had Justice Slayton coming early, it looks like, and all, to save the game and all. Matz came in, scoreless inning. Weissert, I've had my issues with Weissert and all too as well, but he came in, scoreless inning. Zach Kelly, who's been a revelation, coming back from the minor leagues at least, and all with his stuff. His stuff looked awesome. Even his celebration for the walk-off from with Ceddanne Rafaela was kind of dope too, honestly. But he gave you a scoreless. Whitlock, I think, yes, Whitlock struck out 3. All 3 batters in his 1 inning at least, and all. And then Norris Chapman gave up an early double in that walk-off game on the top of the 9th and all, but was able to get the last three batters out and all too as well. Last of the strikeout, which I got pumped as hell when he did that when he got that strikeout. Sleeping on who he got the strikeout on too as well, but a nasty slider I think it was too as well. Went off speed on that one too as well. But set up, it was 3-3. The Sox were down 3-0. Like I said, Kyle Harrison gave up 3 runs and all, so the Sox were down 3-0. But the offense was able to get a run in the 6th, run in the 7th, and a run in the 8th and all. Masa Yoshida, we'll talk about him going to the playoffs now too as well. Looked like he's ready to make some noise and all too as well. Had a great series. I brought up Narvaez with the big hit and all too as well, but Masa had a great series in Toronto and all. Got himself a home run and all too as well. Got himself another home run in this series against the Tigers too as well. So it looks, I didn't watch the last 2 games after they walked it off. I was going to take a day off the same way Bregman, Story, Duran ended up taking days off too, at least on one of the 2 games. After the walk-off at least. But again, before I tangent and all, set up the moments for walk-off for Ceddanne Rafaela on the bottom of the 9th after the strikeout of Aroldis Chapman in the top of the 9th at least. And all, we had I think Masataka started the inning to a ground out to second base at least and all. Romy Gonzalez was able to bloop a single into center field and to get himself on base and all too as well. Ceddanne Rafaela was next. I swear, after Ceddanne Rafaela took the first pitch and all, I was confident he was going to hit something solid at least and all. Maybe a home run, that was more of my expectations and all, but I'll take the triple at least and all too as well. But he laced I think it was a fastball up to all the way up to center field at least on two as well, up the wall. Give credit to the center field of the Detroit Tigers, but he was making an attempt to make a catch at least on. But once he missed that attempt, Ceddanne Rafaela Romy Gonzalez was able to get around first, the more important run at least and all. Ceddanne Rafaela was able to get into third for a walk off at least and all too as well. So yeah, and as of that night, the Red Sox clinched and all too as well. They avoided the 3 seed with the wild card with the win that they had on Sunday against the Tigers too as well. They did lose Saturday and all too as well. I'm not gonna get too much into that. I didn't even watch. Once they clinched, I just cared about getting in. They got in and all. The matchup that we're gonna see in the wild card is something that I didn't mind having. I really wanted the Yankees later, at least, and on 2 as well, for the theater, at least, on 2 as well, but I don't mind it right now, too, as well, honestly. Get rid of them early, if possible. I'll be humbled to a degree, at least, not 2 as well, but that's how the Red Sox basically clinched that, at least, not 2 as well. It was a great series against the Blue Jays, and all 2 as well. Blue Jays team that was reeling, no different from the Tigers reeling, but taking 2 out of 3 in Toronto after not looking so great against Toronto this season, at least, that was huge, I think, for the Red Sox, and all 2 as well, winning that first game at Fenway and all too as well, to clinch it, walk the way they did it too. I think the Red Sox have the most walk-offs in baseball and all. Half of those wins are in the Fenway greens and all too as well. And I think all the wins in those Fenway greens were walk-offs and all too as well. They've had losses in them, but every time they win in them, they won in walk-off form and all. I hope they feature those in the playoffs too as well, honestly. That'd be ridiculous and all too as well. So as I mentioned earlier, the Sox got the number 2 seed with their win Sunday against the Tigers and all. They cinched the number 2 seed. We'll be facing the Yankees in the first round and all. I think now can I bring up the bracket? Oh, I don't have it in front of me. Now we can talk playoff baseball now too as well. But let me get the bracket for the MLB playoffs. Oh, I hate Bing. Give me a moment more. MLB playoff bracket. MLB.com's got a dope bracket on their website and all. So that's the one I'm really waiting for. There we go. So yeah, we got the Yankees and the Red Sox first round, the wild card starting tomorrow at Yankee Stadium for all 3 games and all. Like I said, Kerry Crochet will be going game 1 for the Red Sox. Brian Bay will be going game 2 for the Red Sox, and if necessary, Lucas Giolito was supposed to pitch on Sunday for the Red Sox, but since they clinched and all, it does make more sense just to rest him and all. Like I said, I think he's really dealing with the fatigue thing too as well, honestly. So you're going to give him when did he pitch? He pitched the first game against the Toronto Blue Jays, so he's going to have more than a week off. That should be fine. You're going to have Bayo. It looks like he pitched Thursday, and if he has to go, he'll pitch Wednesday. So he'll have, he'll have 6 days off too as well, honestly. So to my point about their fatigue, at least, no, I really feel like the grind got to them for the last month and a half, you can say 2 months of the season, because they were awesome in June and July, both Lucas Giolito and Brian Bayo. But I feel like the grind of the season probably fatigued them out and all too. So I won't say they're tired or they're dealing with some type of dead arm type of thing, but I think it got to them more. They don't have the stuff, or they're not built, or have the stuff like what's his name there, Gary Crochet, at least and all too as well. So I think they're gonna have the same type of performance that Gary Crochet is your legit ace and all too as well. So I can understand them not coming back. We have Giolito coming back from an injury too as well. Brian Bayo coming back from an injury too as well. And, he's got a little inexperience on his side too as well. But I am excited about them going into the playoffs and all too as well. When I bring up the grind, you got different teams, different batters you got to worry about every 4 to 5 days at least and all. This isn't it. Since at least Saturday, you got Brian Bayo and Lucas Giolito preparing for one team at least and all. Probably preparing for the Jays and the Yankees until today at least and all. But over the next 2 to 3 days, they're going to be set focused on the Yankees at least and all too as well. We're not worried about the next start or anything like that. We're worried about right now at least and all too as well. That could be a relief for them too as well towards this grind in the postseason too as well. I just think even though, this is why I made a big deal about they looked pretty good, even though their stats don't say, to Brian Bayo and Giolito, their last start against the Blue Jays, at least not two as well. I feel like that's part of their fatigue is the reason why they can't finish at bats. I'm seeing Bayo having a whole bunch of two-strike counts against the Blue Jays on Thursday. Is it Thursday? On Thursday at least and all. But unable to finish it. Unable to finish those at bats and all too as well. Giolito, to a degree, it's the walks with Giolito that's hurting him and all too as well. And again, to June and July, that wasn't his problem. He was able to maybe have a walk, in a start. Now we're seeing 3 to 4 walks in the start. So that's the part of, I feel like fatigue is getting to him in that part. And to Bayo at least, he's getting 2-strike counts on these batters and all, but it's not able to finish it off either quickly, or it's taking more pitches. It's taking more pitches to finish the at bat, obviously quickly, or he's getting tagged or getting hit in those 2-strike counts at least on two. So I kind of saw that towards the end of his start against the Blue Jays and all. Was able to hold them, and then just the what's it called there. The water gates came through at least not too as well. But I feel like them taking out the grind of the season at least, preparing on one team. They generally have to focus on one team anyway, starting pitchers and all. But I just think maybe the idea of getting, just putting it all in, this playoff format just in general at least and all that. You going all in. What's another way I'm trying to say it? But you're going all in. You're not worried about, your next start, your next 5 starts. You're worrying about this start right here, honestly. I feel like that could be a push for guys that have been on the edge at least. So now it could take them to the other side too as well. I do trust Brian Bayo more because he does seem over his starts, even though he's been struggling to a degree, able to get you into the 6th inning at least. While Giolito has not been able to as well. But Giolito does have the veteran presence too as well, honestly. And like I said, I just feel like the walks are what's hurting him more than anything, at least not too as well. But even though they haven't looked good, I feel like Giolito and Bayo show you enough that they can step up as your number 2, number 3 guy. Same way they stepped up in June and July. I feel like there's no reason with the 2, especially things more condensed and all too as well. Every pitch matters and all. That that level of intensity could have guys step up and all too as well. Brian Bayo, and we're talking about Brian Bayo, who's been awesome against the Yankees and all too as well. I think he had 7 shutout innings in a series in August against the Yankees and all too as well, in a win I think and all too as well, where they took 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. In late August at least, or mid to late August at least and all too as well. Has a great stats against them too as well. So there's I feel like starting pitching wise, a lot to get excited about in this series and all. I know the Yankees are going to throw out Max Fried and all. Should be able to. I'm not saying match Gary Crochet because that's how I feel about the War Pig, but should give them a competitive start against the Red Sox at least and all. I would assume Carlos Rodon would be their number 2 starter. I think I can look this up. I'm sure that this is all up. Let me look it up. Let's see if the Yankees got their starting pitchers up yet and all. Let me see what we have here. Only if. Yeah, we got the incident moving mad slow. I don't know what this is about. I'm not seeing anything here. Let's Google search it. Starting pitchers for wild. Oh, I went to Bing. Whoops. You got Maxey, Carlos Rendon. Okay, Gill. I think Luis Gill. I think that's how you pronounce it and all too as well. So those would be the three starters and all. I feel like the Sox got the advantage. 2 out of the 3 games, I'll give Rodon the advantage, and I know he's like top 5 in strikeouts this season for the Yankees, probably over 200 strikeouts and all too as well. So I will give him the advantage there. I like Giolito versus Gill at least and all. Max Fried and Garrett Crochet, you can argue is a wash at least and all. I'm just I'm a big fan of the Garrett Crochet, so I'm gonna say he has the edge and all. But I can definitely understand if that's a wash. Max Fried hasn't been lame. 19 wins, 2.86 ERA and all too as well. He's probably got 160 strikeouts or above and all too as well. So I'm not gonna say Fried is a slouch and all too as well. But definitely in the third game, if he ends up going 1-1, definitely see the Sox having an advantage in Game 3 at least. With Lucas Giolito over Luis Gill at least and all too as well. But apparently according to Bing, their AI, Luis Gill is a potential candidate. He may not start for them and all too as well. Like I said, I would give Giolito a strong advantage if that's the guy they're throwing there for Game 3 at least and all too as well. But that's what the Red Sox are looking at for the offense at least and all. Everyone's kind of warming up. Like I mentioned, Narvaez had the big double and all, had a big home run. When did he have the big home run? I think he had the big home run against the Rays. Ooh, I can't remember. Narvaez had a big home run as of late. I think it was against the Rays on the road at least and all. But he's looked dope as of late at least and all. He's picked it up at least and all. So Don Rafael, like I said, that big walk-off, had a 4-for-5 game against the Rays the series before, 2 series prior at least and all, too as well. So it seems like he's been heating up. I think he had another hit when he played on Saturday at least and all, too as well. I think he had a 3-hit game against the Blue Jays too as well, honestly. So Don Rafaela has been finding it all over, honestly. The same way he found it at the end of the first half, at least, and all, is finding it here. And that's why I'm kind of happy a guy like that is not going to have, win the division, to take a week off and all. I need this guy to keep playing baseball. Because the last time that the Red Sox had the All-Star break, after his sizzling end of the first half, at least, and all, he's been cold basically for the whole, excuse me, it's basically for the whole second half, at least, and all, too, as well. So I really hope, this is why I love, there is stats about wild card teams able to make deep runs in the playoffs and all too as well. This thing will not go away, but there is not noise, but stats showing that wild card teams typically have some deep playoff runs and all too as well. I think the Diamondbacks are the last team to have one in 23, if not the last team, famously a team I remember making in through the wild card and making it all to the World Series at least, and I think losing to the Rangers in like 6 games at least and all too as well. So but yeah, I mentioned Masataka Yoshida. He's been on a burner. Like I said, he hit another home run, I think Sunday, to bring it up to like a total of 5, at least all too as well. But I think 3 home runs over the last 2 weeks for him and all too as well. So he's really finding the power. He's just shooting the ball all over the place too as well, honestly, for being real, the right, center, and left field with his hits at least and all too as well. The way he looked at the end of the season last year, the guy that I remember, now I'm seeing Masa and all. And I give a shout out to Cora, who managed a great game on Friday too as well, who's going to have an advantage over Aaron Boone definitely in this series and all too as well. But no, shout out to him. He started putting Masataka Yoshida at the top of the lineup. I mentioned this in the podcast. I mentioned this on the podcast in the past, at least and all too as well. And seeing like like I said, those at bats were to at least give him more at bats. And I don't know if it's working now, but something. I think it's part of the factor of why he's hitting the ball the way he's hitting the ball too, honestly. So Jaron Durant's struggled from here to there. It's had his big hits and his big moments too. Had a big home run, like I said. Yeah, I think I mentioned in the last podcast, big home run against the what's it called there? Against the Rays, at least, and all too as well. One of their big games that they came back and won, at least, and all too as well. Breggy, sort of found it. I think he hit a home run too as well, honestly, right? I think he hit a home run this past week and all too as well. Sort of there. I don't like it. I think the swing is better, but the results aren't there, at least and all too as well. When I talk about pitchers in the grind, I really think Trevor Story Trevor Story and Bregman, I think the grind really got to them too towards the end of the season. Bregman was hitting over 300 over a while, even after coming back from his injury, and his average, I believe, is like a 274 at the end of the season and all too as well. Trevor Story has had 6 errors over the last 10 games, I believe in all. I think 6 errors in 7 games going into the Tiger series and all too as well. So I think you can argue too, Trevor Story lost you a game the last game in the Toronto series and all too as well. Like I said, Bayo was pitching fine. Like I said, and I haven't said it, but I don't know if I said it, but Brian Bayo is a contact pitcher, more of a strikeout pitcher and all too as well. Trevor Story didn't bail him out in certain scenarios too as well, which kind of led to his I think to the sixth inning kind of blooming up a little bit too as well, honestly. So or if not a reason why a run was given up early, I think because Trevor Story had an error and all. But again, I think the grind has. I was mentioning Lucas Giolito and Brian Bayo, the grind getting to them to end the season at least and all. I feel like it definitely for Bregman maybe to a degree, but definitely for Story because he was so solid at shortstop throughout the whole season and all. And then those 6 errors in the last week and a half of the season, basically, and all too as well. So I feel like that got to him. I'm happy they gave him. I don't know if he got 2 days off. I knew he got the day off on Saturday. I'm hoping he got the day off on Sunday too. I just feel like a guy like that should be off his feet. I shouldn't be worrying about baseball until Tuesday. You know what I mean? In my opinion, at least. And all. You can argue Trevor Story is probably the MVP for the Red Sox at least and all this season at least and all. After May, really shot up. I think he's led, if he's not leading the league in RBI since June. I know he's top 5 because there was a time he was leading the league in RBIs at least and all after June at least. But a horrid May, which understandable. The guy didn't play baseball for 3 months, or not even horrid May, horrid 2 months. Honestly, May was just the worst of it. But which is understandable. The guy didn't play baseball for 3 years at least, so it makes sense. It's taken him a while to figure it out. No difference from Masataka Yoshida, who missed half of the season. Probably didn't raise a bat for more than that because of the shoulder injury that he had at the end of the season and all too as well last year and all too as well. So you can understand what took him so long to get going too as well. Honestly, you haven't played baseball for more than a year. I'm not saying more than a year, but I would think Masataka was out for. If he had surgery in October, November of last year, comes back in July, August of this year and all, basically half a year that he didn't lift a bat or have any type of baseball activities, and also to expect him to come out and really start hitting like Willie Abreu to a degree at least, who finally came back to the Red Sox offense, had a couple hits and all too as well. Only missed a month of baseball and all, so you can understand that he may get right back into it after missing so much time and all too as well. But these are the signs. Yeah, I forgot about Willie Abreu too. They finally added the big bat back to the lineup too as well. Honestly, no coincidence. They started scoring runs all over again. In the J series at least, because even though William Abreu is not like lacing the ball, a presence is a big difference to a lineup and all in the lineup or even outside the lineup too as well. And I think I don't think it's a coincidence. Runs have been a bit more consistent since William Abreu's been back and all. Again, you gotta. It's a 162 game season. There's gonna be stress that's held in and stuff like that too. I really think it's a big part of sports, at least and all too as well. I feel like stress kind of was a part of why the Red Sox were playing a 4 to 6 clip, like a 400 clip baseball at least and all, for the last 2 to 3 weeks of the season at least and all. Because I really think the pressure of getting into the playoffs and all really was, it's on top of them. You got guys. I think you only have Nathaniel Lowe, who you just picked up in August, as any guys with playoff experience. Aroldis Chapman, obviously. You can't even put Trevor Story there. I think he only played postseason as a rookie. Bregman, I think, is another. Bregman is another vet. You know what I mean? With 2 World Series championships with the Astros, at least. No, but you are limited. You know what I mean? With vets on the team that have been there before, at least, and all too as well. So again, you can understand the struggles that the team had, at least, and all too as well. So they got through it. I think in a good position to beat the Yankees. I think the Red Sox were 9-4 against the Yankees this year too, as well, honestly. So there is confidence going into this series. And all the Red Sox don't have like the best team in baseball, but when you see the AL, you see the Astros collapse and miss the playoffs. You see the Tigers collapse, and I think they lost the division. Let me double check. I think they lost the division. But yeah, the Tigers collapsed at least. No, they got the Guardians in the playoffs at least. And all you can argue there. But yeah. Oh, Cleveland. Well, yeah, Detroit lost the division. Cleveland ended up winning the division and all. So yeah, you've had teams fall out. Blue Jays almost blew themselves up. Almost blew it of having the division and all, but they were able to keep it with their win on Sunday. Big win on Sunday against the Rays at least and all too as well, to hold off the Yankees for taking back the AL East at least and all too as well. So. But yeah, even though the Red Sox aren't the most talented team, a team that you don't really expect to make some noise in the playoffs at least, and they are sitting in the position to make some noise in the AL and all because of it's not that the AL is weak, it's not the NL. I think the NL has 4 90-win teams with the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Cubs, And who am I sleeping in? The Brewers, in the Phillies at least, and all. Where the Phillies and the Brewers are the only team not to play in the wild card. You still got the Dodgers and the Cubs in the wild card with 90 wins. And I think the Padres are like right there, probably 88, 89 wins, like the Red Sox at least, and also. So yeah, the AL is there's no comparison to the NL. If it was the Red Sox team, Red Sox would be the Cincinnati Reds right now, a very underfavored, low favored team to make a have a chance to make some noise in the playoffs at least and all too as well. So can't wait. Obviously can't wait at least and all too as well. Like I was saying it to myself too. Started 2 seasons into a podcast. Got the Celtics winning a championship, and I'm not saying the Red Sox are going to win a championship on my 2nd season on the podcast. But after 4 years of not making the playoffs at least and all, it's very cool to cover this team at least and all, and to see them make the playoffs at least and all too as well. So there is some magic in this team. You can't deny that and all too as well. The reason why I always put them in the World Series contender type of conversation because of their 10-game win streak and all, and they were 10-game win streak back in back in July at least, before the All-Star break at least and all. But I really jumped on that bandwagon ever since then at least, because winning 10 straight games is no joke in baseball at least. You've seen a few teams do it and you see their success. The Brewers won 10 straight. Best record in baseball. The Guardians won 10 straight, able to make the playoffs with a negative win differential. I think that was the case at least. No, it's not a big deal for me to check right now, but they had the lowest win differential I think in baseball. But that 10-game win streak got them into the playoffs too as well. I feel like another team had a 10-game win streak too, but those 3 teams all had 10-game win streaks, and look what they did. Propelled the Red Sox into the playoff contention, put the Guardians in the playoff contention at the last 2 weeks of the season. And the Brewers propelled as the best team in baseball because of their 10-game win streak and all too as well. So that's what really got me going with this team at least and all too as well. And able to step up. They had their low moments. Yeah, I've heard a couple people bring up the season at least, so I might as well do the same thing at least and all. But even with that 10-game win streak, they come back from the All-Star break. I think lose, your first 2 series against the Cubs, and it was a tough thing against the Phillies at least. You lose 2 out of 3. Again, both of those series and all, but I think they went somewhere. They faced the Dodgers at home. I think after that, able to take 2 out of 3, if not 3 out of 4 against the Dodgers around that time. And then again, just responding again too as well, honestly. August was definitely a good month for them. You saw what September ended up turning into at least. But going back to April, May, and early June, the way things looked and all too as well. You had Casas with the knee injury, and also you had a first base issue, and that's when the Devers thing started and all too as well. You had a guy like Abraham Toro coming in and helping you out too as well, honestly. But now Nathaniel Lowe's in there for you too as well. But you had a revolving door at first base all season, still able to make the postseason and all. I just found out Rafael Devers played 163 games and all. And we all know Rafael Devers as baseball fans know he's like, he's a top 10, top 5, slugging, top 5 slugging hitter in the league at least, top 10 hitter, in the league and all. I don't think his average is as high. You know what I mean? As other guys like Aaron Judge at least and all too as well. But still, guy can slug the fucking baseball, my language at least and all. But still, traded a guy like that. Got Jordan Hicks, trash. Got I think Tibbs the third, James Tibbs the third, whatever his name was, but ended up trading him at the trade deadline so you can get Steven Matz as a bullpen help at least and all, and you get Kyle Harrison, who you finally got to see at the end of the season at least and all, but still throwing guys for Rafael Devers. So you basically traded a top 5 hitter in baseball, and you didn't get anything for him, but you still made the postseason and all too as well. And the amount of injuries that you had pitching wise, especially to the young guys. Hunter Dobbins came in and was had a big start against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx and tore his ACL out for the season. Richard Fitz, I think something happened to his elbow, if not shoulder, but something happened to his arm and all. Able to give you some solid innings from time to time too as well. He gets hurt out for the season. Tanner Houck, who had an all-star caliber season last year, you think he could give you a double up this year and all, and then ends up having Tommy John surgery out for the season. Dustin May, we'll see, because he may be back on the postseason roster. Apparently he's progressing, similarly to Marcelo Meyer and all too as well, even though I don't expect him to play in the postseason. More expect Roman Anthony to play on the postseason and all, and apparently finally he's pain-free and all too as well, where I would hope that if he's pain-free for another week, he can start basketball. Yeah, basketball season starts in less than a month and all, but baseball, he can start baseball activities starting next week at least and all. And maybe you can see him towards the end of the DS going into the CS if if the Red Sox can make it that far, at least. No, I'm just being humble and all too as well. But like I said, it's been a tumultuous season for the Red Sox at least, all too as well. Us fans made a big deal about the trade deadline, thinking you're gonna get Joe Ryan. Shout out to Fox for fucking that up at least and all, just by putting it out there when it was never real. But thinking you're gonna get Joe Ryan, end up getting Dustin May, end up getting Steven Matz at least and all too as well. So down times then, but you'll see one of my episodes too. They swept. I forgot who they swept at that time, but they swept a team and all, even with the trade deadline woes at least and all too as well. So ups and downs, but always able to respond at least and all too as well. Even throughout this last 2 weeks at least and all, the pitching, the bullpen more than anything has stepped up big time over the last 2 weeks and all. The back end is the back end and all too as well, but Slayton has pitched better and all, so that's making it a stronger back end to your bullpen and all too as well. Zach Kelly's coming out of nowhere and giving you innings. Steven Matz, even though you locked the trade deadline, he's been a solid pickup for the Red Sox too as well. Lefty arm out of your bullpen and all too as well. So even though with the injuries and the players that didn't want to be here, i.e. Rafael Devers at least and all, Red Sox still found their way of winning the 89 games and getting into the playoffs at least and all too as well. You can argue lost a fair amount of games that they should have won, honestly. You led the league in errors too as well, honestly, and you're still able to make the playoffs. And also this is why I say some weird way this team does give you special feeling at least and all too as well. We'll see if it can reign into confirmation facing the Yankees going into Tuesday, at least not two as well. But I'm going to be signing off. Looks like I'll be signing off here. I'm hitting the 36-minute mark, and I'm going a little longer because the playoffs, at least. Just a little longer because of the playoffs and all. But again, playoffs start tomorrow. You're gonna have. I'll bring up the other games too. You got Detroit versus Cleveland. I'm thinking Skubal's pitching for the Tigers, and I'm not sure who Cleveland's gonna have for their number one guy. Got the Padres and Cubs and all. Like I said, the Red Sox and Yankees will be at 6, and then the night ends with Cincinnati and the Dodgers going and all too as well. So. Yay! Red Sox are in the postseason and all too as well. I'm gonna have to get some October gear if this continues at least all too as well. But I'll be patient. I'll be humble. I'll be smooth with it. I'll wait for it. But definitely excited. I like the way I was screaming in my apartment after Friday. Kind of forgot what baseball can do to me and all too as well. So it's been a full revelation about how baseball is kind of a sport for me too as well. Kind of slipped on it. I didn't think I'd be covering the Red Sox at least and all too as well. And to be fair, didn't give me any reason to be thinking about them over the last 3 seasons at least, not 2 as well. But let me sign off. I appreciate you guys listening. Again, if you guys are on the YouTube side, subscribe, like, and comment to help support the podcast. And if you guys are on the podcast platform side, Apple, Spotify, Overcast, please leave us a rating. Add us to your library for past, present, and future episodes of the Hype Bulletin. But appreciate you guys listening. We will talk soon. Definitely will be showing up after the wild card series. Well, I don't know if I'm definitely showing up if they lose, at least. But if the Red Sox win, definitely be coming back for that and all. And then, preview for definitely going to be doing a quarterly reaction to the NFL season and all too as well. Said I was going to be signing off, but let me just sign off. I'm going to have a tangent about the NFL season and all. We had a great Sunday night game and all too as well. But again, I appreciate you guys listening. We'll talk soon.